Maria de Cruz, 11th course Baka, to introduce Mr. Pankaj Mehrotra.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to introduce the esteemed guest of honor and a distinguished alumnus of the 4th course BHM, Mr. Pankaj Mehrotra. Mr. Pankaj Mehrotra is a senior living consultant at Delhi with 29 years of experience in project management, strategic planning, sales and marketing, business development, and service delivery across the NGO, telecom, and hospitality sectors. Sir also has 18 years of experience in the elderly care or aged care sector. Mr. Mehrotra is currently involved in providing consultancy on the elderly care sector, as well as advising on developing retirement communities, assisted living or old age homes in India, which are at par with international standards. He is also an adversary on home care and domiciliary care business models. Sir has also initiated and facilitated the designing of district-level senior citizen care homes. In recognition of the International Day for Older Persons, Sir suggested a national policy framework for older persons in India. The policy, which is broadly divided under 14 categories, defines the boundaries, scope of services, policies, and legislative acts for the welfare of the senior citizens. A warm welcome to you, sir. And without further ado, his story in his own words, Mr. Pankaj Mehrotra.
Slides, please. Yeah. It's not presenting. Yeah, he has a pointer is also the same.
Yeah, that's fine. Good morning, everyone. How's the Josh? Hi, sir. Good. Okay. This is not a prepared speech or anything. I'm not so conversant with giving lectures or giving some gyan. But it's genuinely, I'm saying, coming here after 31 years, I passed out 31 years back in 92. It's an honor. It's not a guest of honor as such, but it's an honor for me to be invited by Chef Thiru and ma'am and the entire WGSHA team. The changes which we have seen over the past years, it was an eye-opener for me. And believe me, I can say you guys are in the right place at the right time, because no other college in hospitality will be able to match these kind of standards, and more important, the kind of commitment from the faculty members. So genuinely, I'm saying it's not a sales pitch. Yesterday also I said, it's the value of WGSHA you will probably realize after 5 years, 10 years. It is not only the education which it provides, it's the holistic experience which you will probably realize in any kind of different field you go. I'm sure a lot of them may not pursue hotel management or restaurant management, but would go into different fields like aviation or even the army as such. But what it gives you, the entire picture of how to be a great manager or how to be a great learner, most important than that, is something which comes from WGSHA only. No other college does that. Okay. So today, I will talk about something called senior living and assistive technology. First thing is, how many people have heard of senior living? Let's be honest about it. Okay. So that age group I can make out. It's but natural. Believe me, very soon you will all be searching for senior living facilities in the next couple of years. Okay. How about assistive technology? You guys are not the new generation assistive technologies. Okay. So probably this is something new which will be a little different from your typical hotel management curriculum. Senior living is basically an umbrella term which is used for any kind of a residential services and facilities for senior citizens. India, as per the government norms, anyone above 60 is categorized as a senior citizen. That is for paperwork as such. But today what is happening is people are definitely working till they're 70, 72, 73 very easily. So senior citizen term has got expanded on to, it's gone on to 60, 65, 70 onwards as such. So senior living is a very well-established industry in the developed nations, the America, Australia, UK, Canada is a very flourishing industry, and these companies are all listed on the stock exchanges, and they are doing pretty well. India, the industry is still catching up, and why I wanted to speak, I was asking Thiru whether should I speak on this topic or not. But what is happening is the companies who are coming into the country are actually picking up people from the hotel or hospitality background. And that is where all of you come into the picture. If WGSHA can be the pioneer in this part of the world in contributing to the senior living industry, it's going to be a milestone, and that is definitely going to be a feather in the cap, because no other college in the country talks about senior living as such. It's besides being a new, it's not exactly a new sector, it's just for India, it's a new sector. So briefly, I'll just take you to the slides, and we'll just talk about the aging process, the formats, and the emerging assistive technologies. Okay. Anyone above the age is called older person or elderly. Internationally, again, people have a lot of issues. When you get too educated, you start questioning why call them elderly or why call them aged. In India, we are still stuck with the word called old age homes or the Vridha Ashram. Even the government talks about old age homes and Vridha Ashram, which I've been trying to tell the different ministries and the government. Let's get rid of the taboo word called old age homes. It is now either assisted living, or it is called retirement homes or senior living, which you can use. Then you have 70 to 85 years old, which is called old, and then you have the oldest of old, which is 85. That is where my old man falls into the bracket. He is also 85 now. Okay. Yes. And this is a chart which I had made almost 10, 15 years back, and a lot of international colleges are actually using this kind of chart. What happens is, in a senior living format, you have three broad categories which is there. One is the independent living, assisted living, and the continuous nursing care. Internationally, assisted living is a word which is typically used for personal care, help in grooming, help in bathing, help in eating, and it is not that assisted living. Indians are born assisted living people. We have someone to come and clean the car, to do the jhadu pocha, to do the utensils and everything. So we are born assisted living, but internationally you don't have those kind of luxury. You may be the biggest, the richest person over there, but eventually you are all independent living. You do everything, the electricals and the plumbing, everything is to be done by yourself until you can afford it. So independent living is something which is primarily just a housing project. But assisted living is something which falls into the bracket of support. And that is where most of us, in fact, by the time you all get into your late 50s and 60s and start planning to settle down in one particular place, I'm sure in the next 20 years, we will not be buying a regular housing, you will be buying a senior living facility. And that is the power of it, because we all want domestics. We are so dependent upon domestic stuff that we can't live without it. That's the Indian culture and probably this part of the world. So we will require help with nursing care, we will require help with medication, we will require help with F&B, we will require help with housekeeping. And that is where the professionalism of hospitality industry will come in. And I'm not talking of being a regular caregiver, which is just going to take care of your bedding and all that. But I'm talking of being the management cadre, which is going to become a very big, huge thing. So as you go across the age, one is the age parameter and one is this thing. So once you keep going up, if you will see that one requires different support over the years. And eventually when you come, there's something called the memory care, which you see in the last third part. It's a very big concern. It is called dementia care, Alzheimer's care. And there's a high percentage of people in India who are getting into that phase. That phase is basically when you start losing your memory. You're not able to recognize your own child. You're not able to recognize your own friends. And this is a reality of life. Okay. So tomorrow, the objective of sharing this presentation was, tomorrow you will get a lot of guests who will come at a later stage in life and will probably maybe having different kind of requirements. And you should not just shrug them off and say, oh, this guy has gone mad, or this guy is talking on top of his head. He actually may be in his early stage of dementia. And God permitting, that is one of the worst things you can have. Just imagine, you're living like a vegetable, you can eat, you can sleep, but you don't even recognize your own self. So that is something which is there, and a lot of people are getting into it. So hospitality, I would say, besides the normal technical services, housekeeping services, F&B services, you need to be open to these kind of knowledge base, which is going to be a part of the entire thing. Okay. What are the main senior living issues in the country? And this, I would in fact not say senior living, it was actually applicable to all kind of residential facilities. We have very few senior living options right now, which is growing slowly, but then again they are very concentrated in the south area, southern region. The Chennai, Bangalore, Coimbatore are the hotspots, and north it is not really caught up. Then what is happening is, because of the high nuclearization of families, there is a very low support system today, due to which people have to look for external support. Okay. Then increasing crime rate, we all know there is no rocket science in that. Medical infrastructure and support for the elderly, geriatric care is hardly anywhere. There is a specialized field called geriatrics, which talks about the medicine and the healthcare needs of the elderly. But then we have very few qualified doctors who are into this. There's something called as home care support services, free home care support services. Home care is basically when you don't go to a residential facility and you expect someone to come and do the same services at your house. This is a very big business. A lot of corporate companies have got into it. Max is into it, Antra, Max, and a lot of big companies are HCAC, and all these people are there. So, but it's a very manpower-driven kind of facility, but the numbers are huge. Okay. Then, age-friendly standards. I would actually request all of you, when you go back, just search for accessibility standards, age-friendly standards, because these are very applicable in the hotel industry also, or the hospitality industry. As per the government norms, under the right for people with disabilities, you need to have certain standards under the National Building Code, which needs to be adhered to. Anyone actually can come and sue you, provided if you're not given those facilities. So you need to go, next time when you go to the airport or you go to the railway stations, do go and check out the disabled-friendly washrooms and the facilities. It will be an eye-opener. Okay. Then recreational facilities, obviously, it's not, normal courts it's not there, but for elderly it's hardly there. And a few assisted living facilities, which is not actually not too much available in the country. Then I'll just briefly talk about the residential categories. I've already mentioned you about the independent living, assisted living, nursing care, and continuous care. So continuous care is a combination of all these three facilities. Internationally, what happens is independent care is basically like a housing project. Assisted living is with personal care. Nursing is when you require more of a medical supervision. Not the health part, the medical supervision. And continuous care is that within the same facility or within the same complex, you have all these different level of care services. Okay. Am I making sense, by the way? Hello? Huh? If it is going above or below, let me know. Okay. This is something which I had made the independent living, assisted living. There are different formats, and I'm sure over the years, a lot of you will get into your entrepreneurship, and that is where this particular topic comes into picture. Is most of the people who are getting into this are from the hospitality background, because they understand the hotel business, they understand the hospitality business, and catching up with the hospital business is not too difficult, as it's a very clinical business. So you just need to hire the right manpower. So different formats are there. There's no particular format as such, unlike international formats. You can have hostels, you can have assisted living, you can have respite care, you can have various kind of facilities. Okay. These are some of the features which typically a retirement community facility has. You will have the guide rails and the grab bars across the corridors. And there are a lot of specifications which is used for the elderly as well as for the disabled. And I'm just talking of the basic features of it. The wheelchair accessibility is very important, because sometime or the other we all will require a wheelchair, whether it's a temporary requirement or it's a full-time requirement. What happens is most of the doors in the country, you can't fit a wheelchair. So the houses have to be made in such a manner, and I would not recommend any of you to make huge 1 or 2 story bungalows without a lift, because eventually you will just keep staying on the ground floor, you'll never go and visit the first floor. So if you're making a house, please install a lift and ensure the doors are at least 900 mm wide so the wheelchair can go in. Okay. Then you have something called the emergency alarm system. This is very interesting. These are basically like a nursing alarm systems where you where a person when goes to the washroom, or in case he has a fall, he or she can pull in the alarm cord and call the central emergency control station. Now you have the now there are features which are like Bluetooth and internet operated, but traditionally it has been a wired kind of a thing, which is more sturdier and more reliable in my opinion. Then when we go next time, when you go back home, you try to see sitting on a chair and try to do cooking. It's a different ball game. Okay, I'm sure all your parents, someday or the other, we all are going to get old and they will like to have a little rest. The moment you sit on a chair and try to do cooking, you will find these the heights of the sill and the cooking knobs are not good enough. So what happens is, this is actually more of an international phenomena. India, it's very difficult to incorporate. But you have these flexible and the height adjustable kitchen sinks and the bathroom sinks. Okay. Then there is something called a roll-in shower. I have not mentioned roll-in shower, but the picture is very much there. It's a wheelchair shower where you can actually roll in. Most of the hotels, I'm sure now they have these accessible rooms, a couple of them. But roll-in shower is actually very, very practical, because you can just sit on a chair, roll in, and take a shower. It's a matter of dignity. You don't want someone coming and looking up to you and saying, okay, I'll give you a bath. Okay. Then some of these basic facilities like reception and medical assistance, doctor on site, visiting doctor actually. Now, having a doctor full time is not practical because it's too expensive to maintain. And what happens is the ideal size is anything between 150 to 200, 225 apartments or studio units, whatever you want to call. So you can't have a full-time this thing. But yes, a nurse is very important in case of emergencies. You have a centralized kitchen, because after a certain age, what happens is the ladies or the men who have been into the kitchen and trying to do it, they just say, the boss, I've been cooking for the past 70 years, I don't want to do it anymore. So we will like to have a facility as a backup facility. Whenever we want to have a common dining, we can go and have it. Okay. Housekeeping, maintenance is there. So that's why you'll see a lot of features from the hospitality and the hotel industry which comes into play over here. Community vehicle where a driver, after a certain point you can't drive, it's not advisable to drive also. So, but at the same time you need to socialize, you need to go to the club, you need to go to the market. So you need to have a community vehicle which is there. Anti-fall carpet, actually, it's not a right word to use anti-fall carpet. It's a low carpet. Falls is a very, very big issue internationally and as well as in the country. I have known personally cases where people have fallen down because of the carpet or the slippery flooring, and they have been lying in the bathroom or on the bed for hours. My father, now he's 85 plus, he keeps falling down. And last time I remember he had fallen down for 2 hours and he was just actually lying on the floor. And I was just on the Duplay house on top. He couldn't even call. Every time he was calling, I was just asking, hello, hello, and this is at 1:32 in the morning. You don't anticipate these kind of things, but these are realities of life. It can happen to anyone. It's not the age only. It can happen to anyone. So one needs to be very well prepared for these kind of things. Okay. Okay, coming to the assistive technology, smart homes and the remote listing. This is relatively a new thing. I have been trying to promote assistive technology in my own capacity. Assistive technology, adaptive technology, accessible technology, they are all interchangeable words depending upon how you want to use it. But it's a borderline kind of a difference which is there. So assistive technology can be a wheelchair, it can be a software, it can be a hardware, anything which actually supports your functions in terms of movement, in terms of hearing, in terms of speech. You name it, everything comes under the assistive technology. Adaptive technology is something which is actually a subset of assistive technology. It is more customized to individual requirements, individual needs. So I'm sure Google is there. You all can, if you're interested, you can do that. I don't know how many of you today, but it's very easy for you to look at the cell phone and say this is fine. But over the years, you will find that fonts are too small for you from the same eyes. Either you will require specs, or you will require magnifying glasses, or eventually you will require a bigger button phones. So a lot of elderly, what happens is they who are not able to really see into the mobile phone, they have that old-fashioned mobile phones with keypads, which are larger in size, where they can actually use the services. Then pill organization, the medicine dispensers. Today the technology has gone to this level that through the internet, the pill box will open automatically and tell you this medicine you have not taken. And it will send you a message to your caregiver or your family that these medicines have been missed or they have not been taken. So technology, AI and everything is being put in. I didn't want to make it too technical. Firstly, I am not a technical person. But once you understand a subject, it is not that difficult to really talk about it. So this is definitely, I would say, when you come to the Innovation Day yesterday and when you come to the Entrepreneurship Day, you can actually, all of you really can start thinking out of the box and say, how do I use my hospitality experience to something which can help the larger cause? Money making is something, you all will make money. But money with a larger cause, that is like icing on the cake, to be frank. It gives you a different level of satisfaction. Who can benefit from the assistive technology? People with disabilities. I don't like this word disability, but there are certain terms which we have to use. Older people, then people who are unable to communicate. What happens is a lot of people who have a stroke or attack, for the rehabilitation phase, they are unable to talk. They are unable to express themselves. So for that particular period of time, you need some kind of technology which can enhance their communication levels. So that is there. Then people with mental health problems, including dementia and autism. Dementia, I already told you, it's a memory loss. Autism is a different ballgame. Mental health is a very big challenge, and I'm sure there's no shying away from the fact that a lot of us would have faced mental stress or mental imbalances once in a while, which is but natural, and it is increasing. So it's very important to be in sync with the reality, accept what it is, and take care of it. So mental health in terms of the elderly is also increasing. Then people with gradual functional decline which can happen in any format. Okay. Then this is an interesting slide, and I was telling Chef Tharu, this is being used by a lot of international colleges also. In my opinion, there are 4 categories. One is the red one, that is the emergency care and monitoring. Then is the telemedicine, then is the home care and the smart home devices. I'll just talk briefly about the fall detection and the smart home devices. There's something called the movement monitoring. When you have dementia, what happens, like my uncle and my grandfather, they had dementia. They used to slip out of the house. Everyone is sleeping, they'll slip out. And suddenly you are crazy looking for them. They have no idea where they are. Just imagine losing your memory and you have lost and you can't even communicate where you live. How do you find those people? Even if it's a very scary situation. So you have monitoring devices with GPS and other technologies which can keep a track of them, and it's very difficult to put a ban on these people because they'll tend to remove it. So moment this thing is there within the house also. Suppose you have a fall in the bathroom, how do you detect whether the person has fallen in the bathroom or in the kitchen? So a lot of technology is there, real-time technology is there, watches are there, variable things are there, fixed kind of things is there. Then you have the emergency, which I've already told you. And coming to the smart home devices, these are centralized thing, gas sensors. A lot of senior citizens, or in fact, all of us, occasionally tend to switch off the gas as such. So you have gas sensors which keep a track in case the gas is leaking, and it alerts the emergency control station. Then you have the fire sensors, which all hotels and everything is. There's nothing special in that. Then you have an intruder alarm system, which is again a part of safety and security. And then you have the remote control devices. Today, on your phone, you can actually do anything and everything. You can, if you are smart enough, probably you can look into your neighbor's house also. But this entire game of, you can monitor your blood pressure, your heart rate, everything online. You don't really need to go to the doctor to control it. And everything is online. All your medical records is online. Your family can access it. Every time you're taking a medicine, it gets updated. The technology is going to such an extent that it is unbelievable. And that is where WGSHA comes into the picture, because I was also not from the same field. What WGSHA gave me was the confidence that yes, we can put in our learnings from the college, and the confidence that it is definitely, I'm not into launching a NASA website, a NASA satellite or a ISRO satellite, but this is something which is very natural, and it's going to happen to all of us. And once you put your mind, I'm sure everything is it's not very difficult. Then temperature, weighing scale, everything is there. In the bathroom, you will have the weighing scale, which are Bluetooth connected or the internet connected, and everything is online. Then dementia screening, memory care apps, care buddies. What is happening today is a lot of people are feeling lonely. Loneliness is increasing quite a bit because they don't have their family structure, and they don't have the kind of friends. So there are people who actually charge you a bomb to come and spend time with you. I have never understood the logic, but in fact, Mr. Ratan Tata invested in a company in Bombay, and started by young people like you only. So there is a lot of entrepreneurship which you can look at. Hotel experience is very important. Probably that gives you the foundation of looking at different aspects of it. But I'm sure 25, 30 years down the line, you will be thinking out of the box and saying, okay, this is something which is there. Okay. Then coming to the last slide, remote health monitoring, which I've mostly covered up, that fall detection. Just give me the time. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Fall detection, weighing scale, pill reminder, blood pressure, sleep monitoring. Lifestyle diseases has taken a toll on a lot of people. Okay. Even the youngsters are getting into the diabetes and blood pressure and everything. So monitoring, people are becoming health conscious, at the same time they are not conscious also. It's a dual-edged sword. So the best way to do is keep a track of your movements. You best keep track of your medicines. Best way to keep is track of your overall health parameters. And internet and AI is something you can't run away from today. There is no way. Otherwise, you'll go back to the Stone Ages. So you have to embrace the technology and say, okay, this is what we are. And accept it. Today's people, today's senior citizens who are in their 70s, 80s, they don't know probably how to operate a mobile phone properly. They're maximum onto WhatsApp and Facebook. But beyond that, they don't know how to really download an app and stuff like that. But our generation, they are very tech savvy. All of you are born with mobile phones, I'm sure. So softwares will keep increasing and technology will keep increasing. So best thing is to understand what are the drawbacks and where you can capitalize in terms of as a business venture as well as serving the larger population. Okay. Coming to this is my favorite slide actually. All I would like to say is that my learning I'm coming here after 31 years and it was like a homecoming and it was a very kind of a very nostalgic and a very emotional feeling. Yesterday I was like a kid. I was laughing all the way and saying hello to everyone. It's like a big family. It was not like coming and giving a presentation to a bunch of students. It was like, it was my college and why should I be concerned in terms of what I speak or anything? This is my family. Eventually, over the period of time, you realize you all will make money, definitely, but health and family, that is my learning in life, are the two most important parameters in life. And third is being happy. आपके पास पैसा बहुत है, happiness नहीं है, it's very difficult. It's easy to say, it's very difficult. It's taken me 31 years, I'm still trying to be happy. But in whatever capacity I can, I'm trying to be happy. And happiness doesn't come alone. It has to come with family and friends. Okay, if you are happy, you will see the world as happy. Otherwise, you will find everyone is unhappy and everyone is negative. So positivity is there, which WGSHA teaches you to inculcate those kind of certain values. With Chef Theru, to be very frank, I have never seen a more hands-on and a more passionate principal and the entire staff, whether it's Rashikar sir or Hamara Bhattacharya sir. They give you that belongingness. And that is where the faculty, like ma'am is there, okay. We go 30, 35 years, 34 years back. And Mrs. Vidya Pratap and Mrs. Shilata and all that. It was not, the moment we met, it was like 30 years, kaun janta hai, as if we met yesterday. So that is the kind of a belonging which should come amongst all of you. You may be a batch of 200 people or 300 people or 1,000 people. But tomorrow when you go and after 10 years you all meet, you should be on the same wavelength. And you should be happy for each other. Because the moment you work for a larger cause or you feel happy for the other person, you will be the first person to be successful in terms of you will benefit from that. So with that, I will close the thing. What's the time?
So it's 12:05.
No, not 12:05. Okay. Thank you very much. And I don't know if I made sense or not, but it's... again, I'm saying you guys are in the right place and what WGSHA, you'll realize the value of WGSHA after passing out. You don't realize it when you're there. And the project management and the business law. I never realized business law, which I failed a couple of times, to be very frank, will help me with dealing with lawyers. I never realized that civil engineering will help me talk the same language as the architects. So these are smaller aspects which we take it as why this subject. But plumbing, T junction and L junction and all that. When you actually sit down over a period of your life course, you realize it's really worth it. So no other college, no BCom and other BHM gives you this kind of a thing. And more than that is the faculty. The ma'am is there. She's been there from I would say ages. That it's a happy feeling to be back here. All I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Now, if anybody has any questions, we will be taking them.
Check. Yeah. Hello, sir. My name is Sumanyu. I'm from 12th Course Baka. Yes. And I wanted to ask why elder care out of everything, sir? Out of graduating from hotel management, it is usually people go to work in a hotel, but sir, you told the complete different route. You go work in elder care and you come to the university to talk about it. So I want to know from your opinion, why elder care, sir?
Okay, this is very, very, very interesting. And when I was trying to get into this sector, my boss said, "Are you mad? You don't have money, you don't have land, nothing. How come? And you don't have any experience. How do you want to get into it?" Life may, all of us get a higher calling sometime or the other. Okay. Most of us overlook it and say either it is not practical or because of financial pressures or the family pressures, we don't pursue it. The moment you get the higher calling, jump at it and take it to the logical end. This happened to me when I was in my corporate sector. Just one fine day, I just put in my papers. I said, "Boss, I'm getting into senior citizen and I'll become a consultant." It has to come from inside. It's like the hotel thing. Either you have it in you or you don't have it in you. You can't do a majburi wala job. So that calling, whichever was there, I'm sorry for chef for saying this, but after doing your hotel management, you want to go into a tiger reserve and become an observer. And if you really feel into that, please pursue it. You will become very, very happy and successful. Success for me, to be very frank, I really do not consider money. Money is important. Okay, you need to make that Excel sheet and do the closures. But eventually, if you are passionate and you really believe in that, for yourself as well as for the larger cause, you will excel, boss.
Thank you, sir, for your insight. Thank you.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
God bless all of you.
I would now like to invite Dr. Shefke Thiru to present our token of appreciation. Sir, if you could just please stay on stage. Thank you, sir.
Okay, please give him a big round of applause.